CyberPunk 2077. Ugh. Is it this new raving game that is totally worth it? Or is it this new huge game that is a huge failure as well? It quite recently came out, and the marketing around this was pure genius. It was honestly amazing, and the people that actually did this work behind the game that allowed all of us to figure out what was going on with it when it was being released, what it was about, the graphics of it, the entire look and atmosphere and aesthetic of it. They did a great job on that. However, as soon as it came out, yeah, we have seen a lot of things about this game. It is currently trending as this one huge failure of a atmospheric experience along these game players. Game players. Throughout the few years of my filmmaking career, I have seen a few movies that are in kind of parallel to this game, actually. It's a very dystopian kind of approach to what you can call a video game. Dystopian is the term that we use when you are placed in a world or watching a certain world that is kind of, you have your sense of normality, and you have your sense of normality in this game. However, you're living in this world that is far from normal. Like, this game is literally based in the future. It has this dark and eerie atmosphere to it. You have the fast cars, the technology-based lifestyle that is everywhere, the weaponry, like a Halo atmosphere weaponry that is kind of just insane and very abstract. And one of the most important things about the atmosphere around this gameplay is that you can change your character, basically in as many ways as you want, which can end up kind of weird in a lot of circumstances depending on how you depict yourself in a video game. But it is one of the very main things that they have marketed to us in order to have us invested in this gameplay. The storyline, for that matter, of kind of going along as the cyberpunk and making your way through these fights and basically killing your people that are in this game. I think that Cyberpunk did a really good job of using the dynamics of this game and its atmosphere and the way that you go about the atmosphere of playing it. The general approach that they used was giving us a lot of different things to personalize it for our own experience, which is a really good thing until you get deeper into the long-term investment of this game. If you've ever seen a movie called The Children of Men, me as a filmmaker, I can find some parallels between that movie and this kind of gameplay, being that it is a dystopian world that we live in, which is really good. It lets you immerse yourself in the video game. That is good for any kind of video game. If you want people to invest themselves into the storyline of anything, you want to have them feel like they are actually experiencing it, right? That is one of the best ways and one of the most frequent reasons why we play games or watch movies in the first place. So that part for Cyberpunk 2077 is A+. I really think that they did a good job on that side. However, when you get too deep into the game, you actually end up realizing how dark and twisty it actually is. Do we really want to be living in this kind of dark and twisty world all of the damn time with this new game? I don't really think that it is a good world to invest yourself into. Not so much of the fact that it is bad for your mental health or anything crazy like that as for the stigma around video games or what they used to be. But I think that when you make a game that is a lot of hype and, frankly, a lot of amazing graphics and a good storyline, but you also give us a lot of different methods to the madness of making it our own savior, I think that you mix that along with a dystopian world. Like, it is even very Blade Runner-esque. It is this dark and gloomy atmosphere that we have all of the room to roam around. So what happens when they give you all of this power? This title that has a lot of hype behind it, these weapons that you can use to your advantage of whatever kind of scenery that you want, these scenes and scenery that you can go through within the storyline, the graphics, the gloominess, you mix all of that together and it doesn't really scale up from there. When you want to maintain a business or a company like a new video game that is, being invested a lot of money into, you really want to approach it in a way that where Cyberpunk, if they approached it in a better way than they have, if they approached their gameplay as well as they did their marketing, I'm pretty sure that they would not be failing as a game right now. Think about it this way. Fall Guys. That was a recent game this year. A lot of hype behind it. Good graphics, good gameplay experience. But the scale of these games isn't coming to par with the amount of backing that they are getting initially. If Cyberpunk 2077 was a video game that had this hype behind it and this experience, that's good. That's a good start, a good foundation to a new storyline that we could all be invested in. Or at least if you're a heavy gamer, then you could do that as well. But me, as a filmmaker who loves making movies and telling stories, and who also is a business owner, I'm building companies, a brand, well, it kind of plays out in two different ways here. For you, the gamer who wants the experience of a great game, a great atmosphere, a great graphics, a great storyline, and everything in between that makes this game what it should have been, there's a fine line between putting too much on the table at first. These developers, these marketers, these business builders behind this game needed to let this game breathe just a bit. Yeah, hey guys, CyberPunk 2077. Keanu Reeves is going to be a character in this and even be a voice actor for many of his parts. And that is totally badass, of course. Like, who wouldn't want that kind of atmosphere in a dystopian kind of fighting first-person shooter, like Fallout kind of game? If I was a heavy gamer like you might be, I would be playing this game 6 to 12 hours a day because it would be that good. But those of you who have that opportunity and approach games like you want to, you don't really have that here because there's no scaling of it. They kind of just gave you everything. If they would have given you the first step, the foundation, the storyline, the tagline of this game, what you can expect, but hey, there's going to be a second and third and fourth version of this game, so we're not going to give you all of it just yet. We're going to let you just get a taste of it first. That way you can grow along with it. Kind of like Grand Theft Auto or Gears of War. Like, that was a great series. I play that all the time. If the actual Cyberpunk game was more developed in a way that there was more to it than rather just giving everything up front, I guarantee they would have had a lot better experience than this. And this meaning that, well, everyone is saying that this game is a huge failure right now. They had all of this hype, all of this built up expectation. This is going to be one of the best games of this year. You guys are going to love this experience, and it is totally new. It's something that you can actually invest yourself in, kind of like a monumental game like Fallout. But the problem is, Cyberpunk 2077, once you create that certain amount of hype, you have to exceed those expectations, not just meet them. Because if you meet them or go below them, well, you just go crashing down. So that is my take on Cyberpunk 2077 as a filmmaker and a storyteller. Let me know if you guys have the same opinion. I think that a lot of people were let down with this game, which is unfortunate because it had a great opportunity, a great spot in the market, and it failed. I hope you have enjoyed or have gotten some value out of this. I hope you have a good day or night, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.